Kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu kumama kola Yesu kumama, kumama mwana zambe kumama Yesu. Qui d'autre peut me donner la vie éternelle en dehors de Jésus-Christ? Moi je le sais pas. Qui d'autre peut me donner la vie éternelle en dehors de Jésus-Christ? Moi je le sais pas. Qui d'autre peut me donner la vie éternelle?
What are you? What are you? Today the labor for my mom is palm nut oil. You know, so we select palm nut oil so she can boil it and take it to the river to make red oil, palm nut oil. Then from palm nut oil you have a palm nut butter, and then you also have the palm nut seed. So when I was young, I was the age of 7, 8. Every morning when I don't have school, I will get two pieces of wood that I would take and come here and make fire to keep the farm safe from the monkeys. So that's the life I lived all my childhood. So in this community, there are no inside and export here, you know, because there are no road infrastructures, and there is no police in the village, as you see, and no administrative building, you know, nothing that's modern. So people grow farms, and then they get water from the river or from water wells, and that's how they build a house, or they get it from the rain, you know. So there's self-sustainable food community, you know. So there is a government is never involved, you know, they are being forgotten for a long time. If you have your phone with credit inside, you have to be right on these two spots to be able to make a phone call. Hello? Yes. Okay. Hello? Drop off again. So here he is. He is when I was giving him a wheelchair at the door here. And this is another picture of him just having tears running in his eyes. And I'll give you this one. And then his village was all around him, you know, just testing me out because they were so happy that he got his first wheelchair. The story is that he's over 60, I think 60, maybe 66, 67, and he is a polio survivor. So he was born without any ability to walk and stand. So he's been sitting down forever, and they carry him to move it around wherever he go.
Because some of these subjects are taboo. For example, when HIV/AIDS came to Cameroon, yeah, people did not understand what was happening. If you find somebody vomiting, having diarrhea, growing smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and suddenly the person dies, of course, the only thing that could be attributed to it was witchcraft. And if that man dies, and then the wife dies, and maybe the child dies, of course it's witchcraft. If a woman gets married and there are no children, it's witchcraft. If your children don't succeed in school, they all fail in their exams, they are failures in life. Almost everything, anything that goes wrong in the Cameroonian society is attributed to witchcraft. Even if you have an accident today on the road and you die because you are drunk, it's witchcraft.
Pour amuser, pour divertir. En tout cas, l'art est bien pour l'art, mais surtout mieux quand il fait vivre.
J'ai été arrêté le 2 mars 2011 pour avoir envoyé un SMS à un homme pour lui déclarer mon amour. Donc tout simplement j'ai été enfermé parce que je suis gay.
Ok, que disait le SMS précisément?
Il n'y avait rien d'érotique dedans, rien de louche. Je lui avais dit tout simplement que je l'aimais.
D'accord.
More and more, for me, the main thing is just education, sensitization. Letting them go to school. If they could just go to school, be more educated, and be more outspoken, it's going to be helpful.
My name is Issa Nyaphaga. It's been already 15 years since I left my little village in Cameroon. And living in the US is great because this country provided to me a safe place to live when I had nowhere to go. As a child, I was not allowed to draw any picture. My father never let me draw anything. He would say drawing pictures of people is blasphemous, according to Islam. My mother was the first wife, and she chose other women who married my father. That's the traditional polygamy in my tribe. Cameroon has a very strange government system. They've been ruling the country for the last 50 years, since 1960, and they've been in power, and they are not allowed on any free press. I started using cartoon as a form of resistance. Later, I became a professional cartoonist in the largest city in my country, where I drew news as a form of cartoons to reach illiterate populations. Cameroon lives under dictatorship regime. Our country has not been enjoying the flavor of democracy for 50 years. While demonstrating in the streets, we were shut out. From 1990 to 1996, I produced more than 5,000 cartoons, comics, illustrations, graphic novel, and portraits. Like in any fight, I had to pay the price one day. I was punished by the authorities of my country for subversion. I had to face 2 weeks of torture before I was thrown in prison. The prison was very, very challenging for me because I had to listen to all the conversation of terrible men for 6 months. Yes, we don't go for Ilong. We don't take Inga and all in Muna. We don't Nyambu them. We don't tell them for another side down long. And that was very, very bad for me. Now I'm a little crazy, but not too much. I had to leave Cameroon for drawing politicians, and I found myself in exile in France. One day I was invited to say a speech which addressed issue of refugees at United Nations.
Je tiens aussi à vous dire que depuis que je suis réfugié, ma vision du monde a changé. Je regarde le monde autrement. Je ne me considère pas aujourd'hui comme appartenant à un seul pays. Je me considère tout simplement comme un citoyen universel. Parce qu'aujourd'hui...
I really miss my little tiny village, Nditam in Cameroon, where I grew up in. But living also here, I feel like kind of disconnected because I just miss that place where I grew up in. Sometimes I think a lot about my niece, Ladifatu. She was 70-year old when she became HIV and AIDS positive. And she was pregnant also, so she had to leave the village. And she was discriminated by the society. And also this comes because she's not educated, because she was a woman. Women are not educated about reproductive health. And so there is a lot of social taboo that's present. So education can clear that, and we can talk about it. So living here in the West, I feel like I wanted to do something. I got an idea to build a radio station in that area. Right now I am researching and I'm also meeting some experts to learn how to build a radio. Vous êtes le magasin de électronique? Oui. Oui. J'essaie de trouver du matériel pour faire une radio communautaire quelque part en Afrique.
To put in a relatively small radio station, we actually don't need a whole lot of room. The space that you need for the gear for even a 100-watt transmitter is about the size of a small file cabinet.
I see. But the other challenge that we have is isolation. The region is very far from the city.
Okay.
And then the organizer. We have a hope that Radio Taboo will take off and improve the life of the community, because having a voice is important to fight isolation.
And the idea of community radio is allow people to speak for themselves and to themselves. Usually when we talk about radio in a country, an emerging country, they'll have two types of radio. They'll have the government's radio from the capital, speaking the government's point of view, and commercial radio, which is there solely to deliver listeners to advertisers. What we advocate for is a third model, community radio, locally based, not giant stations out of the capital. And for many of these villages, especially remote villages, this is the first opportunity for electronic media to be there, where the grandmother can sit there, just like she was sitting there with the other women in the village, and talk, but the entire area can listen to her speak. Only radio, only community radio allows people to speak for themselves and to themselves very inexpensively.
Since I was going in Cameroon 15 years ago, I've been making money with my art because I found here a very strong network of supporters and network of people who buy my work. You know, they are collectors. So the kind of art that I do to raise funds is mostly performing art. And I travel in different places around the world and around the country or in Europe, where I meet with local musicians. So I body paint myself, and then I start painting on canvas. So the kind of technique that I use is very simple. I don't like to have anything between my hands and then the piece that I'm using. So I like to paint with my hands, and I don't use an easel. So I paint directly with my thick color and apply it directly with my hands on canvas. But all these colors are inspired by music, because by live music. So while the musician is playing, each color comes to me like a sound, and I apply it right away.
Oh, I think it's sparkling.
But they also don't have access to community radio. So they don't know what's going on in 30 villages, more than 30 villages. It's like 50 villages where nobody knows what's happening in other people's neighborhood. So we're creating this community radio so they can talk and fight isolation. The event at the gallery was a success. We managed to raise funds to support the project. Now I'm flying to Cameroon to build the tower for the radio. I can't take the noise. I said that it's challenging for me when I come to Cameroon and the noise in the city. It's just something that I can't take. I might be a kind of a rural person, you know, but just this pollution for noise is killing me. You know, I can't wait to get into town. We just arrived in Cameroon, Yaoundé, so it's the capital of Cameroon. It's about 3.5 million people. So the first thing we would like to do here is to have a meeting in the radio with Brice and Jean-Claude and Hilda.
Hello everyone, welcome to the program Women on the Move over CRTV Northwest in Bamenda. My name is Hilda B, receiving technical assistance from Christian Bisige. Today we are talking about the family in a Cameroonian context. We'll be having a very important guest, writer and activist, Dr. Magdalene Siri Awa. We'll be right back.
So we both have to go.
You look shiny.
Thank you. Radio can be a very powerful medium for people who live in rural areas. It can help persons with disabilities to get information at a lower cost. And I remember my personal experience of sharing a radio with my parents and having to be connected to the world through that one radio. And so I believe that the radio can help them to be informed, to be empowered, and much more, radio is becoming more interactive, giving them a voice to talk about their issues through SMSs, through calling in, and other means.
It's not a coincidence that I made Radio Taboo. It's because, you know, I grew up as a Muslim child, and my father always told me, you're not allowed to play football, soccer ball. Why? It's because the pagan, the non-believer, chopped the head of the believers and kick it like a ball. That's how we invented football. So the seed of taboo was planted in my head since I was already a child.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I'm very concerned sometimes about my safety in my country, but it's the risk I have to take. Anytime I can get arrested again, but because I have a strong network, that helped. The tower we're going to get is going to look at that one.
Yeah. Really? That big?
Not that big one. Maybe bigger than this one. So is this part going on the ground?
Yes, this part is going on the ground.
Okay.
Like 1 meter and half like that.
Okay, almost 2 meters going on the ground.
On the ground.
And the tower start here.
Yeah,
right?
start here, yes.
Okay, and so that's
this one is like 6 meters like that.
It's the first piece.
It's the first piece, yeah.
Okay, going up. Then another 6
Another
meters.
6, another 6, another 6.
But this is very heavy.
Yes, it's very heavy.
So it's going to be a very strong tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that.
Ok. Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Vous suivez comme ça la radio communautaire Taboo, émettant de Nditam Centre. Ça, c'est mon tout premier émission réalisée sur Radio Taboo. Je vous amène suivre un reportage dans notre centre de santé communautaire appelé Pharmaciens sans frontières.
Je m'appelle Nditam, c'est mon premier reportage avec Radio Taboo, la radio communautaire de Nditam.
Ok. On y va. Ok. Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Je m'appelle Menjo Omaru, journaliste à la radio communautaire Taboo. Quelle est votre contribution?
Notre contribution, c'est de sensibiliser les populations, de leur amener à comprendre que cette maladie existe et que chacun doit être conscient, fidèle.
Et quelles sont les dispositions que vous avez prises au niveau du centre?
Bon, au niveau du centre, ce qu'on fait, c'est de demander aux populations, aux personnes qui peuvent avoir des partenaires à tort et à travers d'utiliser le préservatif.
Bonjour chers auditeurs, moi c'est Ibrahim Abdoulaye, journaliste de la radio Taboo. J'aimerais faire un reportage aujourd'hui ici en Nditam sur le sujet du call-boss, le téléphone portable.
So Ibrahim is about 19 or 20 today, and he was born with polio. And the reason why he was born with polio is because his father did not allow his wife to get the vaccination. And his father, his Baba Nditam, the Imam of Nditam, you know, for Muslim beliefs, that is not right for the religion to get your wife a shot against polio. Ibrahim is a great leader, even sitting on his wheelchair. He is the one who trained the soccer player, the football player in this village. That's his team. And he also fixed wheelchairs. He's the one who put the wheelchairs together when we bring them for the other people with disabilities. He regulated them technically for us, and he fixed also cell phones and radio. So I discovered Ibrahim in 2002 when I came here. I was living in France, and then Ibrahim was crawling down like a snake, you know, a human just crawling down like a snake. Then he was about 12 years old, you know, 11 maybe. So that's how I saw this organization, because I was really pissed off to see a human just like an animal. It's like I had a call, and then I have to respond to the call. The things that we're going to be talking about in the radio are controversial. Some people will not want to hear about it. Things like corruptions, excisions, persecution for gays, or forced marriage, deforestation. They're going to be a resistance. But I'm convinced what we're doing is right. So it looks like the village has like a 3 spot or more. So we have to go check another area before night comes. So it seems like this is the highest place in the village. Because when you're standing here, you don't even see the rest of the village anymore. So they say this might be a very nice spot.
Donc en réalité, s'il n'y a pas de problème de famille ici ou bien de...
Je crois que c'est mieux ici.
Tu peux dire non, Issa Nyaphaga.
Ce n'est pas à ce niveau, c'est... Je sais que tu es un enfant chéri. Pourquoi non, on dit que un blanc qui revient chez lui, ça ne se fait jamais.
This is the chief of police of Ngambetika, so he's one of the key persons, like the authority force here. If I didn't come to talk to them, they're going to think that I am arrogant, and they're also going to just have any idea, thinking that okay, they're competing with me. So that's the sign that I may want the place. I may want to win something because I am the enemy. I know that that's the major fear. That I may want to come one day and run for office. Demande à ceux qui habitent là-bas comment fonctionne la zone, parce que eux ils connaissent bien.
About the radio, it is an essential instrument for our development. I need it. Yes, it must come because it must help us to educate our population and do our job how it wants. Yes, merci.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Right now, I would like you people to give up your ear and listen to what I gotta do right now in this radio Taboo of Nditam. So give up your ear to Superstar. When I was still a little boy, I used to ask myself, what I gotta do to be a superstar? Larry Shabona, to be a superstar. Like Michael Jackson, to be a superstar. Like West Matiko, to be a superstar. La Manuti Bang. I'm on the star. I'm a superstar. 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 I'm a superstar. I have an all-star. I'm not a gangster.
So we are at in Njinga village, where my shaman is. So it's the person I see every time I come in here in the Tikaland when I want to question the future. Là, je peux le calmer le yonki, entre guillemets bon fait le radio. Son yélin tibé ceci un cas.
Ce sont les radios, c'est bien, c'est un cas. Do. Yeah. Bulan ben bien mo vi fese. Itine yana ba yang. Ba chi bon e benesion. Yeah.
An important event is happening because we're doing this ceremony because we want to receive the project that is Radio Taboo in the village. That's the reason why we are very, very happy to have this event. And these masks represent the spirit of ancestors. And also when we dance, it's also like a body therapy for us because everybody in this village have to dance. Even people with disabilities dance also because that's how we see life and process of spirituality is that everybody move their body and then their spirit into their daily life to make themselves happy. Here in the community, there's no money involved in all the businesses. So, for example, when somebody become a man, the community go and farm for him. So they are combining all the forces to clean one space. So that's how they do for their own farm.
Bulen yile busere yisa usoro yile majonjo ente le temps se ko me ka ba fia bi gba ba so ko to se be penye se kwa bo fe chenjo ne tem pere mu le che ndiga diga ma on so che so ndiga diga be fio en na gbe pe chi so fio en na me no si na se lampo ko
isa so le ni ni yo ye chi ni yo ye chi fe so lo ti bi ye ne fe so lo ni ye bo ne fe so lo. But the other one is a solo. Ban to a man, Blabo, you put in the solo, put a yen. A chicken in the good. Then yes, you be Bruno Pan, and I saw your mammy offered to the young first over the Gunayan.
Sacrifice the goat because we need to put sacrifice in the land so the project can be sustained. It's for good luck, and to sustain the project, they need sacrifice. You know, I'm very sorry for the poor animal, but that's the tradition here. Yeah.
I'm very happy now to welcome to the Santa Fe Radio Cafe Issa Nyaphaga. He is an artist, he's an activist, he's from Cameroon, and he has a project going that he wants to let everybody know about to build a radio station, a radio tower in Cameroon.
Yes, good morning, Mary Charlotte.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me again.
And so the idea is that if you have a radio station, you will be able to let people know about things in an unbiased way and to get real medical information out there and things like that.
Yes, because right now I'm raising funds on Kickstarter and also selling some art for the public so I can go put this radio up.
Now, it's called Radio Taboo.
Yes,
why?
Radio Taboo because there is a lot of taboo in the culture. And I think this radio is based on what is untold. Where there is no education is a fertile land for taboo. because life is the most precious thing on earth. Every morning I have a ritual. I stand in front of the mirror and I say to myself, I am lucky. I am Issa Nyaphaga. I am an artist. I am an activist, a performer, and political cartoonist.
Whoa, 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 whoa,